Hi everyone, welcome back to the Botmock Best Practices series. On this edition, I'm going to show you how to capture locations, specifically cities and countries, within our new built-in entity that can connect to a variable and work through an intent. So let's work through it a little bit, starting with adding what will happen after this initial message here. And I do want to mention we're going to use a store locator bot example. And these entities, these built-in entities for cities and countries are now available for every different type of project in every different type of platform. So if you're prototyping for Facebook Messenger, Google Assistant Actions, or Alexa skills, this will be available. But let's just jump right into it here. And let's start, we see welcome to the Botmock store locator to start telling me the name of the location. So we're going to need something to happen afterwards. And what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to capture the location within this connector right here that goes in between these two messages. And it will make sure that the user says something here to move the conversation forward. And in that case, it might say, sure, let me show you the stores in location. Now, we don't have a location variable just yet, so I'm not going to enter that here right now, but we're going to go through it. And let me start with the intent. So we're going to have an intent where location intent, this is that user utterance or phrase that they input. And this will be what really picks up on what they say and then connects that to a variable as well. But before we can add a training phrase, before we can really train for what Botmock has to look for within the conversation preview, we're going to create a variable. So the variable will actually be the location itself. The variable type will be text. The default value will be blank. And what you really have to do here is choose an entity type. So we're going to start off with the city one that we have. So I'll show countries as well, but we're just going to do one or the other here and just show, for the sake of this example, a more foundational example here. So we're going to close that up. We're going to go back into our intents here, and we are going to add the location. So the user might just say the location. They might say, I am in location. They might be a little more specific, and that should be just a couple of nice training phrases that we can have. So now we're going to go back. We're going to take a look at this thing here, and we're going to say, all right, so after they say that, we want to make sure we can capture the variable and actually show it off within the platform and make sure that it captured it properly. So this is a bit of validation, but also just a nifty way to keep the conversations fluid and potentially, bring that up and reaffirm what the user had said. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to connect an intent within this connector here. And just like that, we're going to get ready and preview it. So we're going to go up here. We're going to do, where would you like to find a store? Let's say, since this is the city, I'm going to say New York City. And I'm going to hit enter. Sure, let me show you the stores in New York. So I should mention that for the cities entity, we do not show every city around the world, but we show the top cities around the world. So New York City, London, Paris, things like those should be caught, but we may have a few that are not available just yet. But for the countries variable, we do have every single country around the world available. So we're going to change, all we're going to do is we're going to change the entity type to country. So now it's going to search for something a little different. Rather, it's not going to search for me to say New York City, London or Paris. It's going to search for me to say United States, United Kingdom, and then France as well. So we're going to go ahead and hit run. And where would you like to store? This time, let's try something simple like United States. And now, sure, let me show you the stores in United States. So, you can structure it a little bit better and you can structure for more cases here, but essentially you can see that it picked it up, it saved it as a variable, and now you can use that around your conversation flows and move that variable around and have that data available to capture the locations. So thank you very much, everyone, and that is how you use and capture locations in Botmock.